There we go. Okay, let me tell you what we're going to talk about today. We are in the mood for 6 new things that you need to be doing for your marketing in 2026, right? Let's talk about getting pumped up about 2026 because here's why. I'm not very tall, so I'm going to call it shoulder deep, right? I am shoulder deep in planning not only for our clients and assisting our team in planning for 2026, but I am also planning for our own 2026 for Lemon Seed. So I feel your pain. I know what's going on, but listen, marketing and planning your marketing and being intentional about your marketing is so important. Listen, if you are joining me live, please comment down there below. Let me know that you're here, where you're from, some kind of fun winter emoji. So, are you a Santa Claus kind of vibe? Do you like snowmen? Is it all the Jesus is the reason for the season? Let me know that you are here, where you're from. Even my little lemon seed people, let me know that you're here there in the comments. And of course, behind the scenes today, my little marketing besties, Darian and Madison, will be dropping links and all kinds of cool stuff in the comments. So make sure that you can see that. But listen, I want to tell you a lot about building a marketing plan for 2026. There are lots of pieces that really can technically cause you to have paralysis by analysis. And so you get frozen in time with everything that you have planned, and you just cannot wrap your head around 2026. You're overwhelmed with the thoughts of your revenue goals, your budget. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? All of those things. Well, let me tell you, there is power in strategy and there's power in control. So when you get control of your marketing, and your strategy, then you definitely have the upper hand on 2026. And there are some new things that we can do that really, I think, shake things up. So we're going to jump in and talk through a lot of those things. I am trying to make sure that I have my notes in front of me. So give me 2 seconds. But long story short, here, I think there is passion for a lot of you to do things, but timing is an issue. But I'm going to tell you the very one new thing that most of you need to commit to is doubling your content in 2026. So some of you are like, gross. I don't have singular content, much less can I double it. But when we are actively thinking through what's going to grab attention in 2026, I'm going to tell you that it's going to be content. And we have been on an aggressive content strategy at Lemon Seed all year, and it does work. It does kind of get you out there more and more. So you guys can do this on a much more localized, hyper local level. And so when you are creating content, let's talk about where you could create content, right? So let me push you out of your box a little bit. Number one, what about starting a podcast? Again, not new, but a podcast or a webinar series or a social media live series with prominent people in your service area. So remember, I want you to be 5 Mile famous. 5 Mile famous is super important, meaning you own your own backyard first before you start trying to own. I call that the power of radiation. So if I can own the area in and around that I want to service, the main little 5 miles of famous there, and then I can just radiate out a little bit more every little bit of time that I can. So I dominate this market when I've done a good job and I've been dedicated to them and I've done yard signs and door knockers or whatever the cool things are I'm going to do, then I can add the next town, the next zip code. But many people want to start with this huge service area and try to spend a little bit of money on doing that. So one of the ways that you can reach a broader audience, but with a more intentional approach, is through content. So so I live in rural East Texas. I'd love to know where some of you live. Tell me where you live. I see someone's from Virginia, but I will tell you that when you are thinking through that content strategy, you need to be thinking of, okay, who are the popular people in the areas that I service. So think about like, again, I'm from the South. So Friday night football. So what about your local athletic directors? What about your city managers, your mayors, do you have a local congressman? There's ways that you can get people, a big nonprofit that does this great giving back thing. So you could literally interview these people on social media videos. You could do it from, um, like I said, a podcast that's monthly. But what you're doing, here is the psychology behind this, right? What you are doing is establishing yourself in a roundabout way as the authority and the trusted partner in the space. So when you do it that way and you're constantly putting out content of people that they like, know, love, appreciate, and you're putting it out and you're putting it there and people can see it and they can consume it. You've got it on YouTube. You've got it on, oh, Maine, welcome. You've got it on YouTube. You've got it on your social media platforms. You got it on LinkedIn. You've got it all these places. All of a sudden, Google thinks you got it going on and people are just seeing your content. So, a webinar series, social media lives, a podcast, something like that, you can create that on a local level where you drive home the feeling of connection and brand building. That's what's really important. Welcome, Tennessee. That's what's really important is that you are becoming this hyper local. So literally that means I'm super local, right? So my family's heating and air conditioning company is in a town of about 35,000 people and we service an area of about 300,000 people if we were to drive 60 miles, right? So our entire service area is more around 300,000 people. But again, when those things happen, my note section keeps floating in and out, so I'm on my own. Um, but when you hyper focus on things, it gets more intentional and more engaged. So when you are, if I live in a little town called Henderson, and you're always talking about, "Hey, Henderson, great job Friday night football." People are like, "Oh, they are legit." So it just legitimizes you. It makes you more engaged. It makes you more authentic. There's just some really cool stuff. Okay, that happens when you're not just on there like, let me tell you how you can get a brand new water heater, right? Or here's how we have fun. They hear all of those things, right? They hear all of those things. We have to figure out how to be more unique and creative in our offers and in our ideas. So content, I think, is very much number one. And the fact that you need to double it. So if you don't have a social media plan, if you don't have like, hey, Crystal, I'm not creative. Some of the biggest hurdles that we have. So if you have a hurdle on getting content, I want you to put it in the comment section. Why do you feel like you couldn't double your content in 2026? And I'll tell you what we hear a lot of. I hear a lot of like, I just don't have time. There's only one of me. And I hear that. I also hear a lot that people will tell me, well, I'm not creative. And when I'm not creative, like I feel like I'm doing the same content over and over and over again, and it's nothing new to look at. Well, that's definitely understandable because many of you are operators wearing too many hats and you can't focus on your marketing because you don't literally have the bandwidth to do it. Or mental, let's just be honest, or mentally, you just don't want to sit down and plow through marketing because it is overwhelming at times, but honestly, I want you to embrace the idea that you are getting to plan for a business that is a good business. You are working towards it being an even better business, right? So I would love to know, why do you guys think you couldn't double your content? Are you using a social media person in-house? Do you have one like a local company? Are you using a vendor from the industry to do your social media? And so while I'm talking about that, Darian behind the scenes is going to put a link to schedule a time with Lemon Seed. If you ever want to be like, what does it take? How could Lemon Seed help me? Click on here, schedule and talk to Lupita. She loves to talk to people. So she can tell you all about our pricing. But honestly, that is a big reason that the majority of people struggle to get out content. It's lack of intentional planning. And honestly, even a good excuse is still an excuse, right? So even a good excuse, if I am so busy, I just don't know when I would get to it. Um, that is an excuse and it's a good excuse, but it's still an excuse as to why it's not happening. So I want you to think through how you could get more content out every month. Videos, graphics, downloadables, shaking hands, kissing babies, meet and greet things. That is going to definitely be um, a piece that we need to focus on. Um, Second thing I would say is I'm going to tell you that I think there is uh, a lot of issue in AI. So nobody kill me. So these are 6 new things that you can do for your marketing, right? So number 2 is AI, but I want everybody to take a deep collective breath over an AI answer. So right now, AI people lose their mind about this. So, I'm gonna tell you in a very simplistic thought process what I think. Okay. I think we have two types of people that are searching: traditional people that are searching the same way they've always searched, AC repair near me on Google, Bing, and all that good stuff, right? I think there is a more tech savvy search definitely here where they are using a AI platform of some sort to help them gather information in a different way. So I want to know how many of you are using ChatGPT on a daily basis. Heck, an hourly basis. Tell me, do you use ChatGPT hourly, daily, weekly, monthly? How often are you engaging with like a ChatGPT, a Perplexity, right? How many of you are using that? Because you are using it now for probably research and help me write a better email and all of that simple stuff. But there are a lot of people that are beginning to use it. So here's an idea. How about we just start embracing that and doing, yep, thank you, professional plumbing. Yep, daily, right? Daily, we're using this. So right now, what we need to embrace is a relationship with our digital providers. So with our people that we trust. So our digital provider, hey, digital company, because you remember Lemon Seed's not a digital company, but we want to say, hey, what are we doing to embrace the AI side of life? So again, we don't have to uproot and dismantle our entire digital strategy that we've had in place that's working well. We don't have to. But what we do have to do is pay attention, right? How many of you, so I'm going to tell my age here, remember the Friday night of running to go get a movie at Blockbuster? How many of you remember this? Okay. With Blockbuster, I'm gonna tell you, I remember my husband and I at the time we were boyfriend and girlfriend, right? We would be like, okay, we got to get there early because there's the new releases. And we would go and we did it. So let me tell you what Blockbuster did. They just dug their heels in that it was not going to change and that was going to be everybody's Friday night forever and ever and ever. And they didn't have to adapt and they didn't have to change it because, who cares? All these people are, fear mongering everyone that everything's going to go online. And then what happened is they got blockbustered. I literally call that because if Blockbuster would have been forward thinking, if they could have thought deeper and higher and looked up a little bit, they might have could have been on the cutting edge where Redbox came in and knocked their knees out from underneath them, right? The other day I was cleaning out my husband's desk drawer and I'm like, I know this is not a Blockbuster card. Interesting. But honestly, with AI and with that style of search, it's here. It's not coming. It's here. It's only going to get more and more and more intentional. Okay. So, my encouragement to you here is this is something new that you need to be looking at and you need to know, what you can start adding. Let me put it that way. What could you start adding to your strategy? Social media could be a piece of it, some email marketing, but also there's the whole other AI side like AI voice answering, right? I know Danielle's on the call. They have some really cool products over at Contractor in Charge that is super cool AI enabled cool things that they have going on. And some of y'all are suffering with things that a AI piece would definitely help solve. Okay. Would definitely help solve. So, okay, let's jump to number 3. My number 3 is definitely going to be micro influencers. So, y'all are going to be like, what in the world is she talking about? Well, micro influencers are a strategy that is a new idea. And so B2B businesses have been doing this basically like an influencer, right? So look at all the influencers on the social channels right now, right? So product development companies are sending their products to people that are right now, let's just call it basic influencers, not even a mega influencer, but a basic influencer. And they are sending them product to try. So I do not know why we have not already adopted this. So here's what you need to do. You need to look around that 5 Mile Famous, that same place that people are already seeing your um vans, your yard signs. Okay. They're already seeing those things. So how can you turn around and now say, okay, I know that there is somebody that lives in this neighborhood that is the mouth of the South. Okay. They're the mouth of they're the person in the neighborhood that always has something to say. How do you find those people? And then how do you say, hey, Miss Williams, one thing I'd love to do is I'd love to give you a free 6 months of our maintenance program. One of the ideas that I have is, do you think you'd be willing to talk about it? And for every person that signs up with us or calls us for service, we add a $25 credit to your account. And when you get up to $100, we send you a $100 gift card to your place of choice or Amazon or wherever you want it. And basically, you're building people that literally talk about your business for you every single time they can, because in those community groups, you need a a raving fan. So number 1, you have to be legitimate and make them a raving fan. So, you hear the influencers right now talk a lot about, um I'm gonna pause for 1 second. Madison from my team, if you'll check your Slack with Lupita, please. Madison from my team, check your Slack with Lupita, please. Help me. I need to get something in front of me. But on the influencer side, if you will just encourage them to be the raving fan about you, right? Be the raving person that brings you to the table every single time and they get rewarded. It is worth it. But back on what I was saying about you hear influencers say a lot like, well, I don't recommend anything that I don't use. Odds are they do. Okay. But a lot of them are very truthful and they don't want to recommend something that they don't use. Lemon Seed is this way. So, our job is to build a vendor stack for you. So we look at your account, we put the right vendors with the right people. So when we do that, okay, when we do that, we are putting our name a lot of times behind these people. Well, y'all, that's scary. That's scary to do. So I can completely understand why people don't go recommending people that they don't use the product or recommending a product that they don't use. And so when that happens, I think it builds legitimacy, it builds authenticity. So this is how you implement this. Go identify, is it a local radio host? Is it a local YouTuber, a local weather station guy? Is it a local just like PTA mom that's just kind of out and about? Look for people that match your culture. Birds of a feather flock together, right? So if you want the people that live in older, nicer homes, you need to look for people that live in older, nicer homes. I know that sounds so silly, but so if you're out chasing an influencer and they live in brand new houses, right? They're the ones that are building the most nicest houses that have ever been built. Okay, that's too young for you HVAC people to be of age. You need 8 years, right? So some of us just really need to focus on who is the right micro influencer. And then I think if you can get 2 or 3, that alone would be super beneficial to things. Thank you so much. That alone would be super beneficial. So I know that that is definitely going to be a cool thing to do, a difficult thing probably, but just go start creating this micro influencer plan, okay? So we had content, we had AI, we had micro influencers, and then the fourth thing that I think we're going to do in 2026 is I think you need to build a stronger customer experience journey. So we're going to do a whole little customer journey experience audit. So I want you to think about the last time of your complete customer journey experience with a brand or a business and how that went and how it felt. Okay. So a stronger customer journey experience means think about every point that the potential customer is interacting with your company. So from the moment that they see your ads, so they see your trucks. So let's start there. What if your trucks have peeling paint and they've got a bunch of papers and drank Coke cans in the dash and cigarette butts fall out? That is a part of the customer journey. If your billboards are all faded and hanging off and loose, all that looks terrible. If your social media doesn't match and it's disjointed and it's not using the same things, and then your website is not on brand and it's got misspelled words on it, all of those things are the customer journey. Every single one of them are a customer journey. And so you really have to hone in and focus on map out every touch point that the potential customer goes through with your company. And then you need to figure out your follow ups, automating your follow ups, all about your reminders. Hey, it's time to meet, all of those things. Also, the onboarding. What does it look like to be what you do when a customer is new to your maintenance plan, what does that look like? What does the overall experience look like? How does it look from I booked a call, I sent a salesman, I sent an install crew, and then I followed up? I promise you, listen, what you think is happening and what's actually happening could very much be very different right now. Okay. So I encourage you to like really dig in deep and go through that and then personalize the communication based off of their behavior. And so, like, if they are texting, they probably want to endure texting. If they're an email person, do they like a phone call? Do they like, automated things? And then create surprise and delight moments. So, one of my favorite ways to do this is one of my favorite vendors, To Your Success, is a vendor that I met through Service Nation. And from To Your Success, and Darian can link To Your Success and Contractor in Charge both, if she can find them. That's kind of a surprise. But To Your Success is the company that you can, after you do an install, you can send them a gift, right? But that is a surprise and delight moment. Now, remember, people are like, oh, we've been doing that. When's the last time somebody bought a brand new system from you, right? So if they're buying a system from you every year, like never let those people go. So you remember you get caught up in these things because you see them all the time and you do them all the time. Okay. So the average homeowner does not interact with their home service company that much. So a To Your Success company is basically you tell them everywhere that did an install and they're going to send a nice, unique gift of um, surprise and delight. So we surprise them and we delight them with things, right? The next thing is I want to jump back to AI for just a second. So I am going to call this um, my number 5, but I'm gonna give you some bonus ones, okay, at the end. But my number 5, I wanna talk specifically about website for AI. There's a couple of things that we can do on there that you can do without any huge investment in AI, I think. So, make sure that on your website is a clear and arguably uh accurate FAQ section, right? So, really what I want y'all to learn from this today is you need to go maximize every place that you can put content, right? Strengthen your service pages, improve the user experience with faster load speed, better navigation, and clearer call to action. I want y'all to go look what it's like to do business with your company, okay, through the website. Is there pop-ups happening? Is there a chat bot and then a something sliding across and it's a terrible interaction? Then if that's the case, we need to make moves for that. So that kind of is a little combo between AI is going to try to read a lot of that, crawl a lot of that, but also the customer experience is just not friendly. Okay? It's just not a friendly experience. So my number 5, I would definitely say is website needs to be friendlier and AI compatible. User friendly plus AI compatible. The other thing I'm going to go to number 6 here is really, I talked about one of these things, but strengthening your brand authority through a public relations strategy. So again, I know I talked to you about content in general, and that's just my encouragement. Double up the content that you're putting out, videos like on social media, right? So that story driven social media content. But I want to talk on the brand authority side is I did a webinar yesterday with Heather Ripley from Ripley PR. And we talked a lot about building hyper local content that is engaging and it just pulls at the heartstrings, right? Y'all, really what we've got to do in 2026 is define who we are and then tell people that through things like earned media. So build hyper local content and positions as the community expert. And a lot of these tools will help you get there, but also show up consistently at neighborhood events and festivals and chamber functions and BNI groups and Rotary clubs and Lions clubs and church groups. For those of you that live in the South, you know what you got to do? Freaking show up. Show up, right? Show up. And when you do that, it engages you in the community. People start talking about your brand. You're going to post it on social media. You're going to post it to your Google business profile. You're going to be creating little videos. Show up. And you're going to be like, I don't have time. Okay. If you don't have time, remember a good excuse is still an excuse. So then we are literally saying, and this is terrible. I am a little hustle culture. But what else is more important? And there are several things that are more important than this, but then do what you can and by pushing yourself. So maybe you can't go to every function, but you can say, I want to be at 2 events a month with my booth setup, with my mascot, right? But use local SEO signals to increase visibility in near me searches. So, y'all, that is social media posting 100%. Okay. And then I'm going to give you a couple of extra ones. So that one was your brand authority, right? So doing some cool things, partnering with nonprofits and getting noticed. Okay. My other little perk here is I want to talk to you a little bit about lead aggregators because I heard something. So this is the okay, and everybody get ready because y'all are gonna be like, ew, this is gross. So let's talk about Angie, Yelp, Home Advisor, eLocal, Neighborly. Okay. I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but I do think there's a place for those when you have speed to lead plans of actions in place. So if you go launch a huge Yelp, so make sure you have a Yelp market, but go launch a large Yelp product and then not have yourself together for speed to lead, meaning you are grabbing those leads as you go. That is unfortunate. And that is going to be a challenge. But in the meantime, if you're desperate for leads, turn that puppy on. Turn it on and build leads all while you are building brand authority. The problem is many of you only focus on leads that are coming in right now and you never look up and out to brand authority because you don't know what to do and all of your attention's over here like I got to have more leads, more leads, more leads, more leads. Lead aggregators are going to have the lowest quality lead. We need to get people that learn who our company is and interact with our company through that. Okay? That's what we've got to learn. And when we don't learn that, okay, when we don't learn that, we stay on the hamster wheel of lead aggregation and we don't want to stay there forever. We just like to visit that island every once in a while when we need a little refresh. Okay? So creating a strategy for those types of leads I think is definitely a lever that we could turn on. And so that was number 7 is basically lead aggregators. Just make a plan for speed to lead for those and see if you can't turn them on. And then last but not least, I'm going to tell you stuff that you probably already know, but new for you in 2026 needs to be a straight up reputation strategy plan, right? So a consistent leveling up of your Google and reputation management. So proactively requesting reviews. And y'all, if you're not doing this right now, where have you been? Like, where in the whole wide world? How many of y'all remember Carmen Sandiego? Like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, right? So, y'all, you have to proactively request reviews. Proactively being the key word. So, there is way too many options to not have something integrated with something that you have. Then you got to improve your GBP, your Google Business Profile, with post and Q&A and service updates. Every time you add a new service, go add a new service, right? How are you asking for reviews? Respond to every single review with a healthy response, not just like, thanks for the review. Boo, hiss, absolutely not. And then track your insights monthly. Do you have a tracking software like Searchlight that is helping you know what's working and what's not working? Right. So those that was my number 8. That was my little 2 bonus GBP and reviews. So listen, when we're talking through marketing for 2026, content, this is no surprise. Content, storytelling, educational content spread across all of your platforms, chef's kiss. AI, it's here, so figure it out. Start slowly but surely trusting an advisor to help you layer in different pieces of AI to support you. Consider micro influencers. It's a brand new thought, it's a new idea. Excuse me. I'm stuck in this room and it's dark, so I had to yawn. It's a new idea, but listen, micro influencers are potentially raving fans that can recommend your business. Next one would be website is user friendly and optimized for AI. Number 6 is building brand authority by getting your articles, your name mentioned in articles and on the newspaper and on social newspapers, old people, isn't it? But on the news, on social media features. How do you become like, oh, pipes are about to freeze? Who could I call about that? Oh, I could call Covenant Plumbing, right? That's the direction that you need to go. And it helps establish you as the authority in your service. Consider a lead aggregator. We have a partner called Viral. Viral's kind of updated what they do since if you had them a while back, but right now they're doing some cool products that are speed to lead happy and ready to work on. So definitely check out Viral. And so that was 7. And then number 8 is Google Business Reviews and Google Business Optimization of the platform. And so listen, I want to talk to you guys about one more thing. Darian's going to put it in the chat here, or Madison, about our Lemon Seed conference. So if you love this type of conversation and you know you like to be actively involved in it and you want to hear new ideas and implementation strategies, you're going to want to be in Texas January 25th through the 27th at the Lemon Seed Marketing at the Movies conference. And so Darian is going to put a link here. If you are watching this and you would like a discount code, if you will email us at hello at lemonseedmarketing.com and say, hey, I was on your social media live today. I'd love to consider coming to your conference with a discount code. If you love it, listen, at the most, if you pay full price, it's $5.99 or something crazy. But December the 15th, that price goes up. And I want you guys to help me fill the room. And honestly, we got a bunch in yesterday. So lots of people joined yesterday that really, I haven't checked our count lately. So we're probably getting relatively close because we're getting close to the event. But I have a few spots left for you to be able to join. Y'all, this is a immersive marketing strategy conference. We are literally going to talk marketing strategies and ideas and creative all day long for 2 days. And I'm going to throw in some pretty fun parties. We've got a party on Sunday night at a hangar fixed around Top Gun. And we've got a party on Monday night, a casino party all around a little James Bond theme. So you're going to want to not miss this conference, especially if you love marketing and love operations. Click on that link, fill it out. If you really want a discount code and you're like, hey, I want to come, like, what kind of discounts can you give me? Send me an email at hello@lemonseedmarketing.com. Say that you saw us on the live today. Or if you watch it later and you see the replay, say I saw the replay and let me see what discount codes I still have available for you. But you're going to want to book by the 15th. We've got really cool swag, really cool fun, and we need to keep this party going. So also, if you need help with your marketing, if you feel like it is a daunting task, you don't know what's working, you think your brand's not great, you feel like you're spinning your wheels, you feel like you're out of control, please visit with Lupita. Lupita, my sales member, she will talk you through all of the packages that Lemon Seed has. We have everything from $17.50 a month and up from there, but we would really love an opportunity to see if we can be a part of your marketing team and strategy for 2026. Now is the perfect time. Lupita herself has a couple of discounts for end of the year just because we love to start the new year off with a bang. Fill out that form. Say that you saw us on the live. Lupita's going to give you a little discount on any of our onboarding stuff. But let me tell you, we love contracting and we love the home service space. That's where Lemon Seed stays. Our job is to help you navigate the world of marketing and all things marketing. We are your marketing safety net, right? So we are who you can trust and bounce crazy ideas off of and know what vendors you should be using. We help you be creative. We help you be on brand, and we help you, number one, get it done. Get it done. Get it off of your notepads. Get it off of the whiteboard. Get it out of your mind and into an implementation strategy. And that's what Lemon Seed would love to help you do. It's free to meet with Lupita and let her talk to you about what that looks like. It is a lot of fun to work together with us because we love contracting and marketing. So, two things that you can take advantage of. Please go sign up for our conference. We have a few spots left, and I'd love for y'all to be one of them. Um, Sign up to get a demo from Lupita so she can tell you how Lemon Seed works. And then at the very least, there's two other things. We have a newsletter that you could join. So if you're not already getting our email newsletter, Darian can pop that in the chat here for you. As far as click on the link and join our newsletter. No fees, no surprises in there. And the other thing that you could do is listen to my podcast at From the Yellow Chair. And that is where I talk all things marketing and operations and my love for it. Yo, why am I yawning? I need coffee at 11:37 a.m. It's wild, right? Totally wild. But right now, is the best time for you to talk to Lemon Seed so we can see if we can help you. Right now, if you click on that link and schedule with Lupita, tell her that you saw us in the live. She's going to call me and I'm going to add an additional discount just for meeting with her. Because you know what? I'm in the mood. I like Santa Claus. And Lupita and I are in the mood to be friendly this month. And honestly, we're trying to hit our sales goals. So we would love to visit with you. We've got 21 days left because you know what happens on 12/31? Crystal's birthday. Crystal's birthday. But there in the chat right now, Darian has put our link to joining our conference and our newsletters and all kinds of cool stuff. So click on that link tree. It is everything that you might need from Lemon Seed so that you can keep up with us. And then one final thing for the 10 of you that are still on here, I would love for you to comment in the section below your email or direct message us on one of our social media pages. Send us your email. I would love for Lupita to send you a little Lemon Seed. We got a few little goodies that we might can send you. It's something simple, but we've got some fun little simple swag. But if you want some of it, I want to send you some because you have been with us on these lives. So just direct message us, or you can literally drop your email here, and Lupita will reach out to you and send you a fun little swag kit from Lemon Seed. And I can't guarantee you that they'll all be the same, but she and I were looking yesterday and we have some fun swag that's in, like, we only have 2 or 3 of things. I want to send that to some fun people. And so now is the time to comment or send us a direct message with your email so Lupita can reach out to you and get your address to send you some cool stuff. Come to conference, message us about it. We'd love to talk to you about conference at the movies. And listen, y'all, my keynotes are all from outside the industry, and bring that experience. And so it's really going to push us to think outside of the box for marketing this year for 2026. I have several testimonies that we're going to be listening to of like really great stories of success. And I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be a great time. And then our newsletters and everything that we do, our podcast from the Yellow Chair and our webinar series. Just wait till you guys see what we have coming in 2026. It's going to be a great time. So again, thank you so much for joining us on our live. We will be live again, I think, next week, talking about some things that you must do in 2026. So you're going to want to join us then. But until then, get signed up for conference, schedule a time to talk to Lupita, and let's rock and roll in 2026. Until next time, friends, thank you so much. We will catch you soon.